Observation Group. This is Group 2. My name is Racquel Barnes. My group members are Marie Parke, Jovanne O'Connor, Malisa Lambert, and Tiann Degale. We have put a book together to introduce behaviors of 5-year-old children and how we should handle their behaviors. Children are unique individuals as they are introduced to different types of developmental behavior, such as lying, aggression, attachment, and excessive crying and whining. Aggression comes with physical hitting, biting, or fighting. In this, we will see how to deal with these children's emotions. Social competence, which will be introduced to, refers to the ability to recognize, interact, and respond appropriately with the social situations. In this review, you will also be introduced to the word behavior, which will also be defined. You will also be introduced to a lot of theories, such as Kat and Albert, who will tell you why we diagnose the children with what they have. As a protector, the child's feelings should be also kept in mind, which is suggested by a psychologist living, noting their feelings and state of mind, which will support the child's behavior and development. Further along in the book, you will get to understand why we should always at hand keep that whatever punishment is handed down to the child does understand that punishment.
Thank you, Racquel. The behavior displayed by the 5-year-old is aggression. Green and Donnerstein propose that aggression is not a scientific term and can be used to describe a number of functional different behavior that have in common the infliction of harm upon another person, while Sherry points out that the term aggression refers to a range of behavior which can result in both physical and psychological harm to yourself, others, or object in the environment. Moreover, Dewar 2016 posited that aggressive tendencies are influenced by both environmental and genetic factors. There are numerous ways to define aggression. Research shows there are varying types of aggression. These are physical, which is hitting and kicking; verbal, which is insult or curse words; indirect aggression, spreading rumors or humiliating or excluding a child from a group; reactive or proactive aggression, engaging in unprovoked aggressive act or responding aggressively to provocation. Thank you. I now hand you over to Tiann.
Thank you, Malisa. Reasons for the behavior. A child's behavior is influenced by his or her environment, such as space, objects, and people. In some cases, children's aggressive behavior starts by someone provoking the child, such as bullying. Sometimes a child behavior may be accidental or unintentional. Reasons for the 5-year-old aggression may be that he feels left out at times, does not know the right way to behave, or he simply needs adults' attention. Bandura, as cited in Left-Turners and Posner, 2009, proposed that children learn to display aggressive behaviors because they observe others acting aggressively and can see how these behaviors are reinforced over time. Parke and Clark-Stewart 2011 outlines that the Bandura theory proposes that learning occurs in the social environment. He further states that children learn through observing the behavior of others. Additionally, social learning theories highlight the importance of the social context and posit that people can learn by observing others' action, whether these actions are negative or positive. Thus, aggressive behavior is thought to occur because it has been either modeled or reinforced over time. I'll now hand over to my colleague Anne-Marie.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marie Parke, and I will be giving you ways in which you can manage and eliminate aggressive behavior. One of the ways in which you can manage aggressive behavior in a child is to take away their privilege, such as computer time, electronic games, tablets, laptop. Secondly, reinforce the responsibility when the child hits another child and encourage him or her to apologize. And if they make a mess, encourage them also to clean up immediately. Thirdly, when they have a bad temper, don't give it. Take, for example, if you prepare a meal and they don't like the meal that you prepare, don't give in to their behavior. Put down the food and walk away. Eventually, they will get hungry and then they'll eat the food afterwards. How to eliminate aggressive behavior within a child? One of the ways is to praise the child when you see the child do something good. Secondly, no matter how upset you may be, do not display that behavior in front of the child, because children live what they learn. Thirdly, have a conversation with the child so as to find out what is taking place with them. Do this on a daily basis, and you will actually know what the child is going through, so you can encourage the child as how to behave and also to build up that child's self-esteem. Thank you for listening. I will now hand over to Jovanne, where she will talk about a story and then she will conclude this video presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Bless you.
Hi boys and girls. This morning we will be reading a story about hands are not for hitting. I have it first, cried Noah. It's mine, said Zach. This tug-of-war did not last a minute before Noah landed his right hand on Zach's face. The scream from his reaction echoed through the classroom as tears rapidly flowed from Noah's eyes. Zach held the little red train dearly across his chest, quivering endlessly in fear of what might come next. Mrs. Limpton, his class teacher, sang the same song for Zach each day. Hands are not for hurting each other, but to help each other, and one way to do so is by sharing. Zach nodded his head, and through trembling lips, he responded, I am sorry. But Zach, this is something you have been saying every time you hit or punch your classmates. You need to desist from behaving this way. If there is no change in your behavior, it will only allow you to receive more disciplinary action. For now, you will lose 5 minutes of your break time. No, Mrs. Limpton, please, please, I won't hit my friends. I will share. Please, please. Zach's plea did not sway Mrs. Limpton. After that, she directed him to the timeout area. Poor Zach. 5 minutes out of recess was like a lifetime to him. 5 minutes later, Mrs. Limpton came and informed Zach that the time was up. Zach, your 5 minutes are up, but remember, hands are not for hitting, said Zach. Mrs. Limpton immediately said, That's right. Zach then rushed out to meet his friends on the field. They were happy to see him. Noah was scared for his life, and his friends were obviously disappointed that Zach did not spend a longer period in timeout. Suddenly, Zach and his friends began playing football and invited Noah to join, to which he did. The next day, Zach took his toy cars to school and shared with Noah and told him how sorry he was for hitting. The end.
Thank you, Jovanne. That was an awesome story. I hope the children thoroughly enjoyed it. In concluding, I will hasten to say that not every child who exhibits aggressive behavior learns it from watching their parents or television. However, there is no certain way to determine how a child will behave as he or she develops. It is therefore imperative that as adults and parents and caregiver, you pay close attention in order to detect early signs of dominant behavior and to use strategies outlined by Skinner theory of not rewarding or encouraging such behavior. For this to be most efficient, all parties involved must be operating in sync. Thank you very much. On behalf of Observation Specialists, we want to thank you so much for this time. Bye.